Welcome to Forex Mentor Weekly Forex Forecast. So before we start the analysis, kindly like, share, subscribe and click the bell icon for the motivation. So let's start. So this is the Euro USD. So as I told you last week that this is the strong resistance zone, and the previous week that I already mentioned you that price was kilos in between the strong resistance zone, and the previous week I told you that I am looking for only short positions and avoid any long position, and you see here that price created double top and reject from this area and go down. So the price was moving as expected. So what will be the next move? So the next move of Euro USD is still downside down move. So this is the pound USD. So as I told you last week that I'm only looking for some short position after achieving my longer term target. I mentioned that I'm only looking for some short positions about pound USD, and you see here price was struggling to create another higher high, but fell over this area and price moved downwards. So if we calculate this move as a pip, then this is a good amount of profit, 160 pips approximately. So hope you get this trade and make a good profit. So what will be the next move? So the next move of pound USD is the price may create ABC move and we may see one more push up before go down. So these are my targets, but if the price will go further upwards to test this area, then the perspective about the trade may be changed. But my overall view after this trade, my overall view about the pound USD is still downside down move with these targets. So this is the USD yen, and I mentioned in my previous videos that I'm only looking for some long position for a longer term, and the week before last week that we might see some strong buyers over this area, which I mentioned in my previous videos that price finally start from this area to go upward, and I also mentioned last week that we might see some corrective structure over here before go upward. So all my view about the USD yen is still upside up move, and today I'm going to share my targets with you. So let's jump to the daily time frame. So I want to show you my targets of USD yen. So this is my first target, this is my second target, and this is my third target. So this is overall a long-term trade for a USD yen. So all my view about the USD yen is upside up move. So this is the Kiwi USD. So as I mentioned last week that we might see some corrective structure over here before go down, and the price was moving as expected. So what will be the next move of Kiwi USD? So next week we might see some corrective structure over here, then go further down, and these are my targets of Kiwi USD. So all my view about the Kiwi USD is still downside down move. So this is the Aussie New Zealand, and I mentioned in my previous videos that I am looking for long position for a longer term, and also share my detailed analysis about Aussie New Zealand in my previous videos. So I mentioned from this area that we might see some upward moves, and the price was moving as expected. So hope you are in good profit. If we calculate this trade in a profit in a pips, that this is approximately 300 pips move, and this is a decent profit for any kind of account. So what will be the next move of Aussie New Zealand. So today I am going to show my longer term targets about the Aussie New Zealand. So jump to the weekly time frame, daily time frame for the uh, profits target. So you see here, this is my first target, this is my second target, and this is my third target. So all my view about the Aussie New Zealand is still upside up move with these targets. So this is the USD CAD. So as I mentioned in my previous videos that we might see some upward moves from this area, and I also mentioned that we might see some fake outs before go further upwards. So my perspective about the USD CAD is now a little bit changed. So after starting from this area, price the bulls are coming back from this area, so my targets are a little bit changed according to the perspective about the structure. So last week I told you that we might see some upward moves and the price was moving as expected. So what will be the next move? So the next move of USD CAD is still upside up move. After corrective structure, then price may go upward. So my profit targets are a little bit changed. So this is the first target. I show you in my screen that this is my first target, and also show you my second target is same which I mentioned in my previous videos, that my second target is still 1.380. So all my view about the USD CAD is still upside up move. So this is the Aussie USD. So as I mentioned in my previous videos that after breaking from this area, and I also mentioned in my videos that we might see some breakout over here, but my longer term view about the Aussie USD is downside down move, and the price was moving very decently that you see here. After breakout, price moved down, and after corrective structure, and I also told in my previous videos that we might see some downward move, and I mentioned in my previous video that I am only looking for short position and avoid any long position, and you see here the beauty of analysis. After creating fake out, we might see some strong down move, and I mentioned in my videos that we might see some corrective structure over here. Then you see here we see some strong peers, and then last week you see here, and last week I mentioned you that we might see some corrective structure then go down. So the price was moving as expected. So the price was created triple top before go down. So what will be the next move? So the next move of Aussie USD is still downside down move, and these are my targets. I'll show you my targets. My first target is here, and my second target is here. So this is the Aussie yen. So I posted this trade over this area that we might see some downward move over this area. I posted this trade setup in my Telegram group so that we might see some downward move over this area, and we take this trade over this area, and the price was moving as expected. So after achieving good amount of profit, I also add this analysis video in my previous weekly forex forecast video, and I told you that we might see some corrective structure over here before go downwards, and the price was moving as we expected. So what will be the next move? So the next move of Aussie yen is still downside down move, and this is my target. So this is also my target, and price may create a beautiful ABC move before go further upward. So all my view about the Aussie yen is still downside down move. So this is the euro yen. So as I mentioned last week that we might see some corrective structure over here before go downwards. So price is moving still in a range. So all my view about the euro yen is still downside down move, but I add one more target over here. So I will show you that my perspective about the euro yen is now little bit changed. So this is our first target, this is our second target, and this is our longer term third target if price was created, if the price will be created ABC move. So all my view about the euro yen is still downside down move with these targets. So this is the euro pound. So as I mentioned in my previous videos that we might see some downward move over these areas, and in the week before last week we see a good decent downward move, and I also mentioned in my last week video that we might see some corrective structure over here before go downwards, and the price is in a corrective zone. So I am still looking for some downward down move. So all my view about the euro GBP is still downside down move, and I also show you my longer term targets about the euro pound. So this is my longer term targets. This my first target and this is my second target. So all my view about the euro pound is downside down move with these targets. So this is the pound yen, and you do not miss this trade. We achieve our longer term these three targets in week before previous week. So I told you in my previous video that I am only looking for some short position and avoid any long position, and you see here price was created a double top over here and moving downwards. So what will be the next move? So the next move of pound yen is still downside down move. So all my view about the pound yen is downside down move. Thank you. I am Forex Mentor signing off.